I don't want to have to keep reporting on stories like Aisha's. And like I said in the piece, the thing that is so heartbreaking about it is that it's completely preventable. This is something that we can change, we can do something about, and we're determined to do something about it. Please join us. You can make a difference. You can change the life of moms in East Africa right now and change the situation by calling 1-888-288-0003 or go to crossroads.ca. Don't let another minute pass and another mom die in a needless death. You know, we're back here with Dr. Eve. Eve, you were part of that story. You brought it to us. We tried to talk to the father, and he didn't show up for the interview. He ended up running away. What's the impact of one mother's death like that? What is it for the kids that are remaining, or, you know, the family?
When you lose one mother, you actually lose a nation. Because I look at my own story. If I'd lost my mother during pregnancy and childbirth, I wouldn't be where I am today. And that's what is going on for so many other children, because that is a typical example. For me as a doctor, and for any other health worker who is watching, that is totally preventable. That mom just needed to have a scan, and they know in advance that she had a twin pregnancy. There should have been blood pressure machines to know that her blood pressure is getting elevated. She's delivered on time, she has her babies, she's alive, she's able to carry on with her family, you know. But here is a mother who is not able to have an ultrasound scan for her. Her blood pressure cannot be detected, and when she gets life-threatening complications, she reaches a facility which is not prepared to help her. So it's all these so many delays. And ultimately, you have an orphan child, no sibling, lost a sibling, lost the mother, the father is devastated.
Yeah, you know, and it does affect the whole future society. But on the other side, if we change it, it affects generation after generation. Long after you're gone, long after I'm gone, this facility is still going to be equipped, it's going to have advocates for it, and it's going to keep going. And that's the change. Do you think it's possible for us to change it?
It is possible. It is very possible. And we're already doing that. Like, we already see ourselves making that much needed change. Because we are part of the system. We are the people who live there. We know the culture. We know the context. So when we're there, as we train more health workers, as we save lives of more mothers, we see more healthier children, healthier families, and we also see motivated health workers.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. So tell me, when you're operating on someone and the power goes out, for example, I think these are the things that I heard that I was just, you know, I remember interviewing a doctor and there was no window above the birthing table, and there was a bird that was dive bombing my head while I was trying to interview him. And I'm thinking, rain coming in, birds dive bombing you, malaria bearing mosquitoes. And then he was telling me the story of operating on a woman when the power went out. And of course they had a generator, which is great, as good hospitals do, but there was no gas for the generator. There was no money to buy gas for the generator. And he said that he took out his cell phone to finish the surgery. Is that normal? Does that happen a lot?
I've done that many times. There are many times I'm in the middle of surgery and the power just goes off. You know, there's no fuel in the generator, but you have a life there. The mom is with you and you must do something. And the only thing you have is your cell phone light. But you know, these are things which we can change. We can make sure that we have the light that we need. We have, in case power goes off, like sometimes it will, maybe there are some solar panels, you're able to do what you're supposed to do. That, I see it a lot. But you see, that's preventable.
How do you bear that? You know, as somebody, you have a fighting spirit. You know, you present so calm, but I've seen you. You are a quiet warrior for women to live. How do you deal with that when you're fighting so hard and you don't have the equipment and you don't have the power and you don't have the medication? How do you deal with that?
You know, I'm a servant of God. Like, I'm just one of the many servants of God. I know that God will touch people out there. Like, I know there are people praying for us. I know there are people who are willing to take our story. I mean, look, we met 1 year ago and you saw me in action. But the Lord has given us the opportunity. It's people like you, like Crossroads, who are able to carry our story to so many people's living rooms, you know. And people get to know about us, that we are out there, we exist, we are ready to work. And we just need to be empowered. So for me, that keeps me going. I know I'm not alone in this fight. I may be the person at the front line, but there's so much support behind me, and that keeps me going.
You are not alone, and we want to empower you. We want to change things for you, and we're so excited to have the chance to do that.